Hey, good day again, Bob, Trade Genius, the 18th of November. And I wanted to just switch gears here a little bit. I found this really interesting article. It had great clickbait for me, so I clicked on it. It said, what was the worst year to be alive in history? And the best they can tell was the year 536. And the reason being is because they had a massive, either one or a series of eruptions out of Iceland that swept through Europe, Asia, into the Middle East. And it basically was the reason why the Eastern Empire of the Roman Empire failed, because population fell in those areas by 25%, and then it caused the first Black Plague actually afterwards. But Europe was, they had 3 years in Ireland where they couldn't grow a wheat crop. And this is before potatoes. Remember, potatoes came from the New World in the 1600s, 1700s. So people relied on wheat or they died. And so this was devastating. And this is the Black Swan event, excuse me, that has the most likely scenario for me to happen in the next 10 years, is to have an eruption of significance that would cause a region to have a crop failure. This one caused China to have a year without summer. It basically shut Europe down for 3 years. And in fact, 10 years later, this happened to them again. And it wasn't until like the 640s where they started climbing out of it. There was a reason why they called this the Dark Ages. It was because it was dark. There was like they called it a fog coming through, where you could see the sun, but it had no warmth to it whatsoever. So this thing I watch out for, I don't know if you guys remember Mount Pinatubo, and then we had when Krakatoa went, New England had a year without summer, and supply chains are so stretched, and countries now are not in a cooperating mood. And so if we have anything like this happening, I think it would be totally disruptive and devastating. So I thought it'd be interesting. Read the article. It's a great article. It's in Science Mag. And just Google that in 536. And going into a solar minimum, and if you get an eruption like this, which they say correlations are that solar minimums and increased eruptions are related. So we're going into next 8 to 10 years, we're going to go into some pretty quiet sun. So anyway, think DBA, WEAT, CORN, SOYB, and coming into end of December into January, there's a 3-month pull on those stocks. So put those on your radar and your watch list for the winter and the spring, at least for a trade. Keep an eye on them long term as we go into the solar minimum, because I think they're gonna catch a good bid. They're all at their bottom, so you can't be very wrong on these at this point. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye bye.